Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercrest, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Back to the Future Part 2 again. In the last episode, we beat Griff Tannen and his goons in the year 2015, and we managed to save our future son. We also managed to buy a sports almanac and take it with us back to the past, or at least we tried to, but, well, stuff came up. Old man Biff Tannen got in the almanac, and, well, he took it for a joyride, but we were able to get back in the DeLorean and make our way back home, but now stuff has gone weird. First enemies we deal with are these rolling punks. Thankfully, all they do is just roll towards you. In this weird-looking 1985 that doesn't really look like home. And after one more punk here, I do try to get onto this platform, but for some reason I just slide right off, and I just don't know why. Would have probably taken me to some more coins. But here's where you want to drop down to. And when you get on these blocks, you want to let go of the run button as you move around on these platforms. And you also want to keep jumping too, because once you get high enough, those rolling punks that we saw a couple of seconds ago, they'll be dropping down from the sky, and if you're not doing a jump, a little somersault jump, when they hit you, or when you run into them or touch them or whatever, they will hurt you. You will be knocked back quite a bit. Depends on how lucky or unlucky you are. Also, the platform that I'm on now will take you straight to the top. Just keep on jumping, you should be fine. After we go over this wall here, we're going to take a ride across a spike pit on this rather slow-moving platform. All we have to do is just carefully make our way on it, and it'll just take us on to the other side. All we have to do is just stand there. And you don't have to get on these springs to get some coins, but every little coin helps. It really helps if you go ahead and do it anyway. Being in midair is kind of hard because you never know when you're going to land and where you're going to land either. Anyway, we're back on another moving platform across a spike pit. Let's jet up this hill. And we have to deal with a new enemy here. These guys in this blue convertible. They'll try to run you over, shoot you, throw things at you. If you destroy the two guys in there, a third guy will pop up and try to throw stuff at you. Also, the convertible does hurt you itself too. And we could have gotten to the right, but I didn't have enough momentum, so we're going to have to go down here, drop down again, and deal with a couple of bikers. These guys will speedily move towards you, but manage to have enough momentum to just bounce all the way past them. You also want to be careful on this hill as well, because you're going to run into a biker here too. Now we have two paths. I'm going to try to take the top path, and thankfully, I actually make it all the way up and land on the platform there. If I landed at the bottom, I would have had to deal with platforms that went down under my weight, and I would have had to wait for them to come back up so I could make it past the spiked ceilings, and a couple of bikers too. I would have had to deal with those. But because I didn't, as you get up here, find a little hidden room with some coins in it, enough to use this vending machine to get myself health or an extra life, depending on whether or not my health is full. And then I can just run straight through that spike wall at the very bottom of it and just make my way down here, where I unfortunately jump right into a spike wall or a wall of spikes rather, because I didn't see it coming. Now we're supposed to go to the right here, but we're going to have to use that platform I just activated to get over there. But if I do continue down here, I managed to get 30 coins and another rolling punk that I can destroy. Once we jump up this little wall here, all we need to do is just wait for that platform to show up, and then we can take and continue on with this level. And there's the platform, thankfully. So thankfully, since I took the top path and managed to stick it, I don't have to deal with the hardest things in the game. I get through here a lot easier, and I make it to the goal in a lot less time. I do cover the bottom route in my first playthrough because I didn't stick that top path the first time. And here we are at Biff Tannen's Pleasure Paradise, which has a casino. English. Well, we find out here in Biff Tun's museums that Biff Tannen has somehow become a legendary folk hero who bet on sports games, always got the predictions right, and because of that made money through the years because of it, and now he's a very rich man who now has his own hotel and casino. But why is everything so messed up, aside from that? Well, we're gonna have to go up this hotel, this little tower, and see what's going on. You got chandeliers that will fall on you if you get close enough, but you can also take them down with a jump. And you also have these taser guards who are also women. You actually have female guards in the game. Pretty interesting detail if I do say so myself. I can't speak again to save my life. Also, we have these statues you just jump up and down. They're pretty easy to deal with, really. And you also have these iron balls like this one that just move in certain patterns and directions. And you definitely want to avoid the iron balls. Let's go ahead and hit all the switches here. That way we can get through this area. As well as take down the taser guards. Yeah, they're actually female. I'm surprised. Also, those tasers, they travel across the floor fairly quickly too. And whatever you do, you usually don't want to go down in this level because it will take you to earlier points in the stage, which is something you don't want to do. At least there aren't any bottomless pits here or anywhere in the game. But yeah, that's right, bottomless pits do not exist in Super Back to the Future 2. Now here, we got some bombs. You want to make a running jump through this area, that way you can take out as many bombs as you can with your jump, and hit the switch and take care of that guard with a gun, I guess you could say, who's just been frozen in place. Don't know why. He always appears like that. And now we got some iron ball dodging that we need to do. Guys with the guns are pretty hilarious. They just try to lock their ammo in there like it's some sort of Civil War gun, and then they shoot at you. So sometimes they take a little time to shoot at you, but you can see their attacks coming. And the path around this part of round 3 is pretty linear. Just make sure you don't go down unless you absolutely have to. You see like a gaping column in like the middle of a room or something. You usually shouldn't go down it because it'll take you to an earlier point in the level. Anyway, we managed to take care of a couple of guards with guns there. And if we keep going to the left from there, we should be able to find another health pickup. And from there, the first point to the right, which is right here, you do want to drop down here, because that lets you continue on with the level. And I keep jumping just to ensure that in case I run into an enemy, I can easily take them down. They're very sparsely placed, though. That's why I'm kind of worried that I might accidentally run into one. And for this section, you just hold down the run button and just move all the way to the left. That's all you have to do here. And now some slow moving balls. Slow moving iron balls. They start popping up here with chopping up more often, but at this point you're pretty much at the goal anyway. Just jump over the pits and you're there. And now is time for round 3-3, which has a mini boss. You got this guy with a trumpet gun moving these switches, and which will cause these platform pieces to come up from the ceiling and land in the proper place. To get rid of these platform pieces, all you have to do is just stand on them and jump. And you also want to be very careful, not only of this guy's projectiles, he has a little three-way shot, but you also want to be careful of the iron balls as well, because they will hurt you if you're crushed under them, these little iron balls. You also want to watch where they go, so that way you'll know where they'll pop up and when. Once you get used to basically how these things work, how everything in this little mid-boss battle works, you really get to go with the flow, and you actually manage to last a little longer each and every time, hopefully. Also, you want to jump on this guy too whenever possible. just break parts of the bridge and then jump on them whenever you can, because that does more damage than the iron balls themselves. Now it's time for round 3-4, where we have some music here that's dedicated only to this part of the round, and we're going to be doing some pretty difficult maneuvering. We also get to see the fans for the first time. We use these to make a running jump and then make our way over here. This won't be the last time you'll see the fans. And of course, it takes a while to get up there, but if you can do it, well, there you go. There we go. Now we got to get past these spikes, and thankfully, as long as you're keeping an eye on what's going on, you should be able to do it. If you get hit, just try to brute force your way through this, as well as the part with the iron balls. Definitely had the brute force with the iron balls. And from here on, we just take a platform, and there. We're up here now. We managed to refill that lost hit, and we managed to get a shield too. If you keep going to the right from here, you get a couple of coins as well as another taser trooper here. You actually want to go down from this point. And you want to watch out for the sets of spikes that go up and down. The first set is pretty slow. Second set is a little faster, but you should be able to take good care in making your way through those parts. Those parts should not be terribly difficult at all. And now we're up here. If you go to the left, more coins. And from here we're doing a bit of slaloming. By the way, in case you die in any of these stages, you go back to the beginning. There aren't any checkpoints. It's pretty bad in the beginning of the game, but it gets worse later on, especially with rounds like this. So yeah, you definitely want to try your best not to die here, especially when you have only 3 hits to work with. Anyway, you definitely want to hurry to the left here and then make your way down. And here is where we start seeing a new kind of spike. Spikes that disappear and reappear. Let go of the run button in this part. That way you can stop on a dime and still be able to pass through all these spikes as they temporarily disappear from view. Also, if you see them, either the shock troopers at the end, go ahead and take them out with a jump attack. And this is where we start seeing the iron balls moving over these upper platforms. Wait a good while to see how fast they go, and then move in from behind from there. This round is not very difficult if you're patient. Also, we managed to see a spiked wall to the left there, and that means we can't go back at this part. Also, I go down here to get even more coins. I'm already at maximum, but I might as well go ahead and show them off. And now we got 2 iron balls moving around these platforms. So you definitely want to be extra careful and remember where these things are as you slowly move your way to the right. Thankfully, we don't have much further to go. And this one doesn't have any at all. So yeah, there we go. That's the end of round 3-4. Arguably the hardest part of round 3. And now it's time for round 3-5. This is our boss. We got a guy with a shield and a hoop and another guy with a hammer. You want to keep jumping on them until they die. If they ever get together, you want to hit the button there in the center at the lower level of the room, because that's the only way you can separate them, because otherwise they're completely invulnerable. You can't hit them at all. Also, that appears to be a boomerang that he's carrying, so he keeps changing back into a hoop as soon as he's separated. I just now noticed that. Also, the little guy throws bombs at you too. Definitely want to take care of the little guy first, because, well, he will throw stuff at you. The big guy will not. After hitting these guys enough times, pretty easy boss battle, I do have to admit, as long as you know what to do, you get to meet your mom, who is also apparently big, according to the movie. She basically tells you what's going on. She's basically married to Biff Tannen. Your dad died 12 years ago in 1973, and Hill Valley is just pretty much in ruins. And now you're gonna have to figure out what the heck is going on and fix all this stuff, starting in round 4. We're gonna have to look for Doc Brown, but that will have to wait until the next video. So join me next time where I go off and looking for Doc Brown and hopefully try to figure out what the heck is going on. Until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!